There are other challenges for businesses. As businesses get more global and more powerful, there are questions about what rights do businesses have to do some of the things they do in the areas of weak governance across the world. This photograph, by the way, is a photographer who, this is like a couple of 100,000 foot drop here, and he hopped over there to take a more impressive photograph, and he hopped back and nearly lost his footing and fell. Just one of those photos. It's got nothing to do with business responsibility whatsoever. For instance, if you take a look of the different experience of two countries, Norway and Nigeria are often referred to as a contrast because they are both oil rich. And for one, it's a great blessing, and for one, it's been a great curse. And the only real difference between them, in terms of why that should be, are the strong institutions in Norway and the low corruption and the contrary position in Nigeria. Now, businesses operating in Nigeria and other countries like it continually have to face the consequences of this. For a start, you're expected to know about human rights. Why on earth should businesses care about human rights? You shouldn't have to. If states are doing what they are meant to do, then you just obey the law and you don't have to worry about human rights. But as you know, in a number of countries across the world, the states do not fulfill their responsibilities in that area. And so after years of saying, well, it's nothing to do with us, we're only businesses, we're not qualified to worry about human rights, businesses are increasingly realising, well, actually, we do need to be able to deal with this. But actually, one of the changes that's now starting to happen is companies are saying, well, maybe it's part of our role to lobby for better governance. Because in these states where poor governance is leading to poor outcomes for everybody, actually we as businesses would be better served not just by getting our human rights thing right so people don't come and complain outside our AGMs, but actually if we could support these countries to move towards lower corruption, towards better governance, we'd be investing in capacity that would then leave us freer to profitably do business. And that's a change, because 5 years ago the idea businesses took any interest in how countries were governed was a no-no. And in terms of the democratic gap, it's very challenging, but it would benefit a lot of people if governance was better. And it all comes down really as to whether you see companies as mad dogs. I can't look at that picture without a certain shiver going down the spine, to be entirely honest. And I'm talking about the one on the left, obviously. Mad dogs, which a number of people see your companies in this light, which is that if there's a governance gap, you will exploit it. If there's poverty, then you will go in order to make the most profits at the expense of the poor. You can never be trusted. You've always got to be controlled because you might turn around and bite somebody at any moment. If that is your view of the world, that's a tricky old view of the world, really. And these are the people who say, it's dreadful that Coca-Cola is sponsoring Copenhagen. The Copenhagen should be for people, not for companies. And you're thinking, well, for crying out loud, if companies aren't part of the solution at Copenhagen, then what on earth do you think the solution is going to be? But it all depends how you see them. Now, I'm not saying anyone sees the companies as Gandhi, by the way. I might need a different picture on